my dear Taurus, this is your love and spirituality reading for the time between September 16 and September 30, 2017 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. If you would like to have a personal reading with me, you can contact me at my email in the description box below the video. So I used the Mary L Tarot with Mary White, and I have already shuffled and chosen your cards. I will do a shorter 9-card mid-month reading for you this time, and I will come back with a longer 15-card reading for the beginning of the month readings. So, where I also use a smaller deck. I have used the Legacy of the Divine for quite some time, but I am in the process of trying to find a replacement for that beautiful deck. I will just tune in for a few seconds, and then I will start with your reading. Okay, so my dear Taurus, this is your past, and it's an Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups, either you have found a new love or you have found a fountain of love, unconditional love inside yourself. Maybe you have learned to speak the language of your own emotions, start to be able to come in contact with that realm of you that has those emotions, not just being afraid of them, but actually have very good use of them, starting to listen to them and giving them respect and also authority to in your life, because you are maybe founding a lot of important decisions on your emotions. We have a kind of a snake there, almost look like electrical cord. It's about change. It's also about this with communication and adaptation, to be able to adapt to change of circumstances, changes of your emotions. One day you like a thing, next day you're tired of it. That's a change, and an adaptation is needed. We can also see this person is a little bit androgyn. It looks like both a male and a female, and it's an angel. It's putting the androgyn aspect a little bit more, giving it more intensity. She has a triangle in the forehead that kind of shows that the soul is ready to go down in this body, and the redness here shows a lot of passion, and we can see the emotional vibration of his emotion going on in his belly, his gut feeling. It's very important here for Taurus, listening to your own intuition. And here we have a 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands is a Leo energy. In this case we can see the lion. And it's about conflict, but this is more looking like a person or an entity freeing themselves from conflict, or deciding that they will go with whatever is their way. There's not so much compromise in this picture. This force is going with a great haste to a very dark forest. There's spots of enlightenment here, this little insect that's glowing in the dark, and it's a lot of trees, so it's not like you are lost in the forest, but it's something like you're trying to break through maybe an ancestral karma, something that's in your subconscious. You're trying to understand something. It's like an internal conflict within you. It might also be a conflict going on the outside of you. Maybe your emotions are very angry, or were very angry at this time. It might be August or the beginning of September, that you haven't really maybe been listening to your emotions before, so there might be a lot of anger that has been suppressed and that needs to come forward. Maybe also now when you're listening to your emotions, you get more strong. We can see the redness here, the passion with you. When you listen and give your emotions authority, you become also an authority because you trust yourself. You don't question yourself. I think this is very good. This is the journey towards self-respect and self-love. And yes, and here we have a 5 of disc. This is a person saying, well, look, I'm worth loving. And that's very beautiful. You have 2 5s, 5 of Wands, 5 of discs. Both are connected to Taurus, number 5, the High Priest. And it's also how we learn about the world, through different conflict, through comparing ourselves with others. It's like our culture might state one thing, but you might feel like another thing is going on with you. And here you find reasons to love yourself, even if you are different, even if you are not like everyone else, even if you are not able to fit in or do whatever other people do. Still, you love yourself. Five of Pentacles, Five of Disc here, traditionally is about feeling left out in the cold. Five of Wands is usually conflict, so conflict and feeling left out in the cold. But we can see another side of this card. This is how you have solved this. You have solved the conflict by deciding that you are right, kind of, and that you have solved this feeling outside with, well, I love myself anyway. I see the great use with being the way I am. So this is really you finding this incredible force inside yourself, that you don't have to doubt yourself anymore. You don't have to feel bad about yourself. You can actually start loving everything about you, even the things that you might earlier have judged with yourself, like being too temperamental or not fitting in or whatever it was. But now you just see that, well, being temperamental is very good. And to not fit in is also very good, because I have something different to show the world. I'm not like just one in the pack. I'm something else. I come with something new. And it's the snakes again, this change, this adaptation that you are able to make. And so it's very, very beautiful. And I think you will find a road to your unique expression. And you will find places where your strength like this is needed, and where unique personalities like you are needed. And by just being you, you will automatically be pulled towards those situations where you naturally can bloom like the person that you are. It's very beautiful. So this is in the now. And it's the Knight of Cups, and it comes so beautifully under the Ace of Cups. So I think you have really realized what a treasure you are holding inside, that these emotions that you, before you might have looked at them as a problem, like, oh, will I ever heal? Will this aspect of me ever heal? Will I ever feel different? But now you understand that you don't need to feel different, you just need to feel. It's like... before you wanted someone to stop talking, just stop talking, it's so tedious. But now you are understanding what they are saying, so you actually appreciate that they are talking to you. So Knight of Cups is a very beautiful, like appreciating this gift of having an emotion and also being able to share it. We can see that this person is a little bit shy, but it's like they are ready to take this gift that's themselves out in the world. And this might be a little bit fragile state, because who knows how you will be received. But then you, if you are not received well, you can still go back to this, well, you love yourself, because you will be challenged in this. The divine will check, do you really love yourself? Have you really found your source? Do you really trust? Do you really align with yourself? So you will be tested with outside forces. We can see a very strange thing in this card, that there's like little feet here in his wings. So it's some kind of like being a little bit fragile, being a little bit shy, hiding a little bit in the wings, like a chicken's hiding in the wings of its mothers. And it's your angel wings in the same time. So I think there's very fragile aspects of you that's starting to bloom, and they are not really ready maybe to share with the world, not everything. Maybe you need to lay on this beautiful things, beautiful treasures, like a little bit longer, just enjoying them yourself first. Here, really central, we have the beautiful High Priestess. The High Priestess is the spitting image of self-respect, trusting your own intuition, trusting your own experience, your own wisdom, and not backing an inch. She can be very temperamental. She can love you one day and hate you the next, but this just because she listens to her intuition. and she listens to her instincts, and she has all those antennas out here, and the moon here in this picture almost look like, for me it looks like an owl. Her wisdom, she's taking it straight from her soul with her big antennas. She also have roots down out in the air, but also down in the water. You can also see it here, and these cords again. The water, it's like a veil, and she has the moon and several times here, different phases of the moon, and also some stars. And she's obviously in a late stage of pregnancy, ready to birth forward the new visions to the world. So it's again, just saying this, you have a unique expression, unique gift that only you can bring forth. So try to be as naturally yourself as possible. Don't try to taint yourself or fit in or compromise. Try to become your true essence. And yes, there can be things with you that needs to heal, but these harmonies will come to the surface when you do work like this with self-alignment and starting to love yourself. You will those issues will come to surface and very easily be healed, because you accept everything about you. So even if you find bad things with you, you will also understand why those bad things came, and you will be able to kind of communicate them. I know I have a personality that might be very judgmental, but I know the reasons to why I am this way, and if you are if you don't like it, tell me, and I will try to ease my way because I don't always see myself, and it's important to see yourself through the eyes of others. It doesn't mean like you are compromising yourself. You're just getting to know more about yourself. If someone says, well, you're a person like, you're a little bit like that, you can say, well, maybe I am. Can you explain a little bit more? And you kind of milk them of information, so they will tell you things. And when people come like this, bearing message to you, we can take it as criticism, but actually it's like a godsend. Listen to those people, even if they are making you a little bit agitated, because they usually have something. They are like, but what about this? Isn't this a problem? And you don't have to see it as a problem. You just have to see, okay, so there I need to put a little attention too, because attention is love and love is healing. So when you try to sweep things underneath the carpet, that is not love. That's the antithesis of love. That is avoiding and resisting, and everything you resist persists. But if you're giving it love and attention and seeing it, it will soon become light itself, because you can't bring light into a dark room, but you can bring light into a dark room. You can't bring out the darkness into the light. It will become light. So that's the process of healing, giving things attention until it becomes light. So very precious here. It's some kind of gift, some kind of thing you are ready to birth forward to the world, and it's very, very small. It's like small feet underneath the wings here, still in the belly. So the next card is Seven of Cups. So Seven of Cups is this part of you, the shadowy part of you that you haven't been letting anyone see. This is the hurt part of you, the ugly parts, the one that you are dramatic and obsessive and like this, you feel like a maniac and no one would ever understand. So this is the parts that's being birthed forward here, and they are bearing a gift to you. It's the black wolf. It's a masculine aspect of you that wants to come forward. It's something that you have holding back, and you thought that it was something bad with it, but it's not. It's a part of you, and it's need to be integrated. As I said, you can't shuffle it underneath the carpet. It needs to be there, and it's worth loving. As you can see, that he shows you this what you have inside here. It's worth loving. Black wolf. They come with a lot of wisdom. they have all this wisdom from all the traumatic things you have been through that have given you great experience and great wisdom, but you have only taken parts of it. You didn't take the whole thing because it hurt too much. But now when you have learned to be more tolerant with your feelings and you're not so afraid of them anymore, you are ready to take on this black wolf. It's one of the figures that pulls the chariot forward. So you need this to become whole, to heal. You need to look at all the aspects of you. So in the past, you were experiencing your own emotions it was like a little bit of like robbing towards other people and finding out that you were unique and you loved yourself for it. You start to respect yourself for it. You didn't try to, not have this conflict and fit in. You just let yourself become more unique. And by that, you found a deep treasure within you. And it's only getting deeper. It's more that needs to be revealed. You are going to dive like even deeper into your own wisdom. Things that you have been through, important things that you have avoided to look at because they hurt too much, but they are really, you really need to do this. It's not dangerous. You might have days when you feel a little bit depressed, but that's just because all the emotions are knocking at your door and wants attention. So just stay at home, curl up in your bed and feel those. Birth them forward into the light. Let them heal. Let this healing begin. Beautiful. And here you have your future. This is into October probably. And here you have the Temperance card. The Temperance card is beautifully connected to the Five of Wands. This is when you experience new territory and makes it your own. So first you were a little bit shocked by your own behavior and not fitting in and all this and not really recognizing yourself. But now here you can play with your new strength and you have kind of integrated this in yourself and you're not afraid of it anymore. It's rather amazing, this feeling. You're feeling your own strength and you're understanding that nothing can really bring you down anymore, because when you are not afraid of your feelings, what will scare you in the future? Nothing. You will be very, very strong, very resilient to any kind of challenge in your life, because you have become this entity that's loving themselves, trusting themselves. And if you're a tiger, born to be a tiger, you will be a tiger. You will not try to be something else. So beautifully. And next card here, it's the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords, sevens are always challenges. You have the Seven of Cups here, Seven of Swords. So those two things, it's your mind and it's your heart. It's your mind that has secrets, don't want to tell everything, don't want to touch everything, don't want to look at certain problems or add certain topics. And the Seven of Cups is those feelings you don't want to feel, those that you want to swoop away. But as you see, this is the wisdom wolf, the black wolf, the things with your masculine side that you haven't really known before. And the white snake is a lot of wisdom that you have, and it's very pure. And you have this black raven as well. It comes with messages, sometimes messages that you don't want. But this is just the truth that wants to present itself for you. And sometimes the truth is awful. Things can happen that's awful. But you still need to be able to see them. We can think of this as the widow that takes away all the pictures of her late husband because she doesn't want to be reminded of the happiness that they shared and that he's now gone. It's just swooping everything underneath the carpet. Next life, she will have to deal with this. And this is, now when it comes, it might be things that you weren't able to work through or process in your earlier life, childhood, even past life even. It might even be things that your parents or their parents' parents or their parents' parents' parents didn't weren't able to digest at the time. And now you need to do this, digest both those feelings and those awful thoughts that wants to come to you. Write the thoughts down. Thoughts are very, very potential. They have big potential. They have visions. What you see is also what you later create. You can see this if you envision a life that you want. You start to do actions towards that state. So thoughts are everything. They are the foundation of a lot of things that's being created, all the things that's being created in your human life. So those thoughts has also potential to hurt you. So you need to access them with a little bit of respect. Write them down, give them attention. But then when they have given the message, they have the ability to kind of stay like a broken record and just on and on and on and on again, making you traumatized, because your body doesn't know the difference between what you're thinking and what's actually happening. So be modest with this. Write down those thoughts, but then focus on your feelings, because your thoughts will have caused some kind of pain inside your body, some kind of disharmony. So feel it. And it will be like you are falling asleep from time to time, because you will thrown back to this thinking, and then you need to feel your body again. You can't do those two things usually at the same time. So when you focus on your body, you won't be able to think, but eventually you will kind of fall asleep. I say fall asleep, but becoming like unconscious, and then your thoughts are taking over. It's like you don't have the thoughts own you. And when you notice this, you go back to feeling your feelings, and you're awake as long as possible, and then you will fall asleep again, and you will think. Eventually, this is hard work. You might need to do this 50 or 100 or 500 times a day. But the more aware you become, the more evolved you become. This is the next step of human evolution, to not be addicted to thinking, and to actually not have thinking being the master of you, but you being the master of thinking. Whenever you want to think, you can think, but it doesn't have to be like a broken record all the time. So practice on this, and this will also help you a lot with creating a more happy life, because if you don't, you need to listen to your thoughts and give them attention, but not like this broken record kind of syndrome. So I think it's like a big purge or a springtime cleaning here in the fall. You are cleaning out old things from your wardrobe. They just need to be seen, just need to have your attention, and then they will go on their way or dissolve into light and become parts of you. When you start to listen to wisdom like this is very wise creatures. When you look at like shamanistic symbolism of animal kingdom, a raven, that's essence of wisdom, not so often come with good news. The snake, also medicine, wisdom, evolution. The wolf, it's like this scary unknown wisdom out in the forest that sees every move that you do. So it's a lot of things here. If you can access them, if they can befriend you, if you can take them in as your archetypes and start to seeing them, start to use them in the way that was once intended, you will actually become like a super powerful human being, having not only your strength and loving yourself, but also becoming aware and awake, and becoming very grounded, very stoic. So the last card here is a 10 of disc. I got this, maybe it was with Gemini, and we can see this is a black horse being ridden by some kind of goat sheep kind of entity, and the black horse has wings, so it's like Pegasus but with the black color. So I think this is a picture of losing power in some sense. It's 10 of discs, so it's a very fully grown situation when it comes to the material world, and I think you still feel like a slave to some kind of family situation, some kind of work situation. So there's still things that you need to free yourself from. And I think the Seven of Cups and Seven of Swords has something to say about what this can be. If you think of tens is like a lot of a certain element, like 10 of Wands, that's a lot of fire. It's a forest fire. 10 of Swords, it's like a hurricane, it's a lot of wind, much wind. 10 of Cups, it's usually seen as very good to have a lot of emotions, but it can be a tsunami wave of emotions. And 10 of Earth, it's like a lahar, or like a mudslide or landslide. So something is making you feel insecure, threatening your foundation in some way. And it seems like it's outside entities. Maybe you are taking too much consideration to what other will think or say, or like how they will still make you powerless. Yes, we need our people around us. We need them to love us, but not to any cost. So you need to be able to sacrifice a situation where you are kind of you're not comfortable, you feel pressed by someone else. You need to be able to sacrifice those situations. It's like teaching people how they are allowed to treat you or not. We want to be good, we want to do good, we want to be of use for other people, but not in the way that it freaks us out. But in other way, 10 of Disc is a very valuable situation. As family situation, work situation, gives a lot of money usually, or security or stability. It might be changing location in this. We see they are flying in the clouds. So for Taurus, some kind of vision for Taurus. I think you had this before, this with healing, and it's a lot with healing still. It's like just lying still and figuring out things with yourself, getting to know yourself from the toes up, like everything about you. Just not a place will be untouched by your own awareness and healing. So this might be also what you feel like the divine being like this on you, because maybe you don't want to go through this gateway, but it will heal you in the end. So just give it, like sacrifice this time where you maybe won't be so very creative, just trying to get to know yourself, your new strengths, your new abilities. You'll be super powerful when this is done. Everything is pointing to this. It's just that you need a little bit more time to take care of yourself. You're not really ready for the outside world just yet. If you would throw yourself out there, you would still like easily fall back in the old ways and let people rule you again. Oh, that was the wrong deck. Here is the Oracle of the Druidcraft Tarot by the artist Will Worthington. And of course I should have taken the card that fell, but my hands didn't want to. No connection there between the hands and the brain. It was just, sometimes it's just goes by itself. And this is the things that you will become aware of, those things that goes by themselves and just freaks you out. Here you have the Magician. So the Magician is like above, will be below. And so this with your thinking, I think it's very important to see when you are feeling threatened. It's like guilt. It might be like how parent can make you feel guilty, or people around you can say, well, why did you do it in that way? And you start to question yourself so easily here. So you need to be very clear of this and see that people is coming like this. It's like this black oyster. It will come and challenge you and see if they can agitate you. And it's not, they are sent by the divine, like checking you out, stressing you out. And you need to be very clear when you notice this kind of things happening. Maybe people coming in and whispering about things and how bad things will end. And you will say to them, I'm sure a lot of things can go wrong, but I'm not going to focus on that right now. I'm focusing on this, what I want accomplish instead of everything that can go wrong. I hope you will understand and excuse me for it. So it's just giving it attention. It just wants to be seen. So you're not being like entangled in this. It's a situation where you easily can go back to your old habits. So you need to be awake, you need to be aware, and it's a lot with communication. Tell people that you are seeing what they are doing, and don't let it just slip out of courtesy, but be diplomatic. That's my advice. So, okay, my dear Taurus, I hope this helped, and thank you so much for watching. And yes, if you want a personal reading, you can contact me at my email in the description box below the video. And in other case, I hope to see you again for the beginning of October reading that will be more extended with 15 cards. Okay, thank you so much, and bye-bye.